The know-it-all that's always wrong, but I be claiming I'm advanced. It's my second chance. They all saw my dreams. We twins with their eyes. They all saw my dreams. We twins with their eyes. Better. I gotta do 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 better. Gotta do better today. Gotta do better before it's too late. Said I gotta do better. I gotta do better. I gotta pick up the pieces and master the puzzle upon us. Look the man in the mirror in the eye and be honest. Slow down time. Get back in line with my chakras. Reach for the galaxy. Leave stardust for dust after me. Into the void, fill in the cavity. Risk the reward if that's how it has to be. I gotta do better. I gotta do better. I gotta do everything in my power to try to do what gotta do. Ride the tide, don't fight with the current. I gotta do something real quick. Come on, seriously, stop. Gotta do this, right? No, that's what I'm gonna do. Paste. Send. Back. Fucking kidding me, right? Thank you. It's not what I meant to do. I'll tell you what, I'll do this. Back that down. Go back here before you mess up my live. There we go. I'm back. Good thing ain't nobody here yet. Everything got it. Melt the eyes, brown the furnace burning inside of you. I gotta do better. I gotta do better. I gotta do better. There's nothing they can do that I can do better. Better yet, there's nothing I can do that I can do better. Yes, I'm better. I said I'm better. I gotta do 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 better. Gotta do better today. Gotta do better before it's too late. Shame stuck to my face, hoodie glued to my hand. I'm from the same world that made me who I am. Deep breaths, can't even get out of bed. Too blessed to be so stressed. I do all this shit just to say get off my dick. Mixed emotions prohibit my focus. This is what you wanted. What's wrong with you? You don't make sense. Feel like I can flip at any moment. Face is playing and it's fucking with me. Drugs was just a war with boredom, but it's sure to get me. Lord forgive me. Amen. Where the crown of thorns for sport, I'm just waiting for a stone to hit me. Relationship on the rocks, my family all concerned. My homie still on the block, getting it off the curb. I'm stricken by survivor's guilt, I'm getting it off of words. Rick Soul, what's going down, bro? Gotta do better. You can see me, man. Hold on, let me
break everything down when it comes to empowering people, helping people become the best version of themselves. You took a big break.
Yes, I did.
I just want to know what happened to you.
Yeah, man. Well, we chop it up. I am actually recording this show. So I'm actually doing a pre-record for the YouTube channel. Expecting great things, man. I am looking forward to a good conversation. You know what I mean? And just really dig in and get this whole show back on the road type deal, man. Let me see how I can do this real quick. Share my time. I want make this clear. I'm laughing because I'm proud.
Just one more.
Choosing to laugh because I'm here. I'm standing tall.
Oh,
That's how it's a lot of work.
I learned that today. What's going on, Brother Raxo? Peace, love, light, and abundance to everybody that's here. Like my brother Raxo said, it has been a minute. And to everybody who is tapped in already, might be listening on YouTube. Actually, this is a pre-recorded show. So I am not actually live. I feel like I'm live. It's recording me like I'm live, so I can't do the pauses and all that type of stuff. So we're going to see how this all ends up. But I do thank everybody or whoever's tuned in right now to this show. I really do appreciate you for showing up. Like Brother Raxo said, I have been away in and out for like 2 months. You know what I mean, trying to get my head together and everything. And I'll be perfectly honest with you that everything is not fully aligned. But that's what's so great about this month's theme, alignment and acceleration. It just kind of fits the mold in regard to what I'm going through and maybe a whole lot of other people, you know what I'm saying, when it comes into how things are just moving in people's lives. But for everybody watching, I do want to say welcome to the Chocolate Goodie Show, where faith meets focus and we flow into greatness. I am Jackson. I'm a real estate solution specialist and your guide to level up in the next space. Your guide to level up. We talk about all things personal growth, financial freedom, and how to reclaim your unalienable rights. I help you uncover off-market properties and turn properties into opportunities, and can help you manifest your next move with purpose. So lock in, level up, and let's go. This month we're talking about alignment and acceleration. Let's go, let's grow.
Amazing. Hey, my brother, man.
Yes, sir.
Let's have a one-on-one talk here, if you don't mind.
Okay.
So definitely, I'm so glad to see you back on your grind. Did miss your sessions. You used to come every day to the point that I got addicted. But then when you went away for a little bit, I was like, I know people go through their own personal, changing when it comes to getting themselves in the right position. So it's no biggie, man. Don't take it personal when I say that I missed you because you wasn't here.
Oh, man.
I just know that what you did is amazing. I took a lot of heat to it and I embraced it to the point that I felt like, man, I have to hear my brother Chocolate speak at least once a day. That was just me. It might not be the same thing for everybody else. It's just that I got used to it because I got addicted to the way that you actually bring positivity into people's life. But that's just me,
That's what's up, man. Well, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I absolutely take that 100% personal, but in a good way. You know what I mean? I'm not going to lie, with you and other people, saying the same thing, it does help to put fuel to the fire when it comes into when it came into me looking forward to being back and actually getting to the groove. When it comes into encouraging me to be consistent about it, which is one of the reasons why you see me fall away, because I couldn't be consistent. I was addicted to it, but when I got down to Florida for the job for that month, and I did move it to these evening times, it was really, really, really hard for me, bro. You know what I mean? Me and the guys would kick it after we get off work. I mean, by the time 9 o'clock came, man, I was done. You know what I mean? I was done. I really, really struggling. And it was just really hard for me to wrap my head around it. So I've thought about it long and strong, and I'm willing to make the sacrifices and adjustments that I need to in order to be here. You know what I mean? And actually thinking about maybe coming on sometimes in the morning and the evenings, just to give that double dose for the people who can only make it in the mornings. Because I know there's a lot of people can't even make it in the evenings. I mean, right now it is 10 o'clock East Coast. It is 9 o'clock Central Time right now, or 9:09 Central Time. So I try to be considerate and thoughtful about all that type of stuff. But I know I appreciate your support and everybody else's support who does follow me and support my channel and different things like that. I have not just been doing nothing though. You know what I mean? In the midst of all this, I have been proactive in continuing to work on different things, whether it be working on aspects of the show itself. And I am actively working on my YouTube channel right now. I haven't launched it yet, but the YouTube channel, well, not the YouTube channel, I mean my official business website for the new company that I've created. You know, as y'all know, hey, Jeannie, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am a real estate solution specialist. I have just created a new business called Take Action Solutions, where I can be a conduit and a resource for those who are looking to grow and invest in real estate. Maybe you're looking to purchase your dream home, or maybe I can help you take advantage of the benefits of having an LLC and making your dreams come true. So much to it. I don't want to really get off into it, but my goal is to make that website very, very informative, and Chocolate Goodie is definitely part of it. You know what I mean? At first, that was kind of hard for me to grasp. You know what I mean? You know, the professional versus the public or the private. Well, I mean, both of them are really public, but yeah, you know, the motivational side of this show, the educational side of this show. One of the reasons why I do it is so that people like yourself and other people who might tune in now or in the future can get to know me better. You know what I mean? They can see another side of me. And hopefully the goal is for them to get to know me, like me, and trust me enough to actually take action on the things that I say, to actually put the things that I say to work, to the test. You know what I mean? My whole thing when it comes to that is trust me, but verify. You know what I mean? You have to do your due diligence. In the real estate game, we call it due diligence. You know what I mean? You know, I don't care what numbers a wholesaler might give you. I don't care what the realtor told you. I don't care what you have to go do the research yourself. You know what I mean? In the biblical side of things, of course, the Bible says to study to show thyself approved, a workman that needeth not be ashamed, but rightly divideth the word of truth. This is my thing about that. You see how strong that was when it comes to this conversation? Study to show thyself approved, a workman that needeth not be ashamed, but rightly divideth the word. Well, that's the way I think that we should be about all the major aspects of our life. When we run into difficult situations, whether we finally have to acknowledge and deal with something about ourselves that we don't like, whether it's you got confidence issues or something like that, it's very, very important once you've acknowledged it to do something about it. You know what I mean? So that's where the month of May is all about, being aligned and activated and accelerating when it comes into your goals. You know what I mean? Starting this month, with it being May 1st, starting this month in what I like to look at it as in a divine order. So yeah, I'm looking forward to things really getting. And before I go ahead and hit this little intro, I wanted to say this little quote that I have down. It says, you don't chase what you attract through alignment. I'm going to say that again. You don't trace what you attract through alignment. And the reason why I'm digging into this alignment thing this week is because it's easy. It's an easy word to say. But even for myself, when I think of that word alignment, it's really hard to grasp all what it means. So over these next few episodes, I'm going to be really digging into the different aspects of alignment and what it means and how to use it and how we can literally transform our lives. But again, that quote is, you don't chase what you attract through alignment. You attract it by becoming it. I'll say that one more time. You don't chase what you attract through alignment. You attract it by becoming it. Let's go. Let's grow.
I want to be the best in the game. That's my name. Check no restraints. I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess, and I change. Possessed by the thought. You begin to look toward making this your decade. As you begin to look toward making your life different, as you begin to look at yourself, you got to redefine yourself. Now you are teaching your body chemically to understand what your mind is intellectually understood. So you can say knowledge is for the mind and experience is for the body. And in that moment, you're beginning to embody the truth of that philosophy, of that theory. And you're literally signaling new genes in new ways. And you are rewriting your biological program. Do you feel courageous? Do you see just when you can go on and take your rest? So our job is to open philosopher, to initiate, to master, from knowledge to experience to wisdom, from mind to body to soul, from thinking to doing to being, to learning it with your head, practicing it with your hands, and knowing it by heart.
Welcome, welcome, welcome again, everybody. It is a brand new month, and this theme this month, it's not just about setting goals, but it's about the time that it takes to get aligned. It's about the time. It's about the time to get in alignment with your becoming. I'm going to say that again. This ain't just about time to set goals. It's about time to get in alignment with who you are becoming. I think that's very important that I say that, with who you are becoming. When you're aligning, when you are aligned, you move with clarity. Your yes means something. Your no protects your peace. And instead of chasing things, you start attracting things that are already yours in the spirit. Alignment is the most powerful position of power. And tonight we're getting activated. I hope you all enjoy this next video. It's one that I have. It is a motivational channel that I've been following. I've really been good. Just a heads up and straight up, the voice you'll hear of Denzel Washington is an AI voice. All right. But the content and what is talked about in this particular motivationals are kind of priceless in my mind. And I think they just really fit the mold of what it is that we're trying to do. For everybody who might be watching right now on YouTube, I will plug this in on the next pre-recorded show. This is a live recording, as you all have seen. Of course, the show that I'm taping right now for everybody who's listening on BIGO, it will not be posted until I think tomorrow or something like that. But it is being recorded live, so I can't make adjustments and change it up like you will see on some of the other shows. Anyway, let's go. Let's grow.
Ladies and gentlemen, ever notice how the harder you push, the more resistance you meet? It's like you're fighting an invisible wall, and no matter how hard you try, it doesn't give. What if I told you that the key to success isn't always about pushing forward, but about learning how to step back and let life do its thing? I'm telling you right now, everything falls into place when you stop forcing it. The more you try to control, the further you push yourself away from what's meant for you. You're not in a race. Life doesn't work that way. When you let go of the need to control every single detail, that's when things start aligning. You've been working hard, grinding every day, feeling like you're spinning your wheels. But here's the truth. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is nothing. The pressure to make things happen, to force them into existence, it's only holding you back. Real success, the kind that lasts, isn't about forcing yourself into places you don't belong. It's about trusting the timing, about having faith in the process. Look at it like this. A plant doesn't force itself to grow. It doesn't rush to bloom. It just takes its time doing what it was made to do. And when the time is right, it blossoms. Your life, your success, it's the same way. You don't need to force it. All you need to do is be patient, trust the process, and align yourself with what you're meant to achieve. When you stop forcing, you stop fighting against yourself, you stop using all your energy on things that aren't meant for you. Instead, you put your focus where it belongs, on what you can control, your attitude, your actions, your mindset. Everything else will follow when the time is right. The hardest part is trusting that the universe will give you what you need at the right time. It's scary, I get it. But forcing it, that's what keeps you stuck. When you align with your purpose and stop forcing the outcome, that's when you unlock your true potential. So take a deep breath, stop trying to control every little thing. Trust that when you let go, everything will fall into place, just like it was always meant to. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that success is a result of constant hustle and pushing through obstacles. We talk to work harder, do more, and always fight for what we want. But in reality, success isn't always about effort. It's about ease. When you stop forcing things, when you stop trying to control every little detail, that's when success starts flowing to you naturally. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you tried to push for something only to face setback after setback? The harder you push, the further away it seems. This is because when you're forcing things, you're working against the natural rhythm of life. It's like swimming upstream, putting in all this energy but not getting anywhere. When you learn the art of ease, you stop struggling against the current. You start to let things unfold on their own. This doesn't mean you stop working, but it means you stop stressing over the outcome. You focus on what you can control. Your actions, your mindset, your dedication. You stop obsessing over the how and when. Success isn't a race, it's a journey. The more you focus on forcing results, the more you're likely to miss out on the lessons that come along the way. You start to lose sight of your growth and purpose, getting distracted by the desire for immediate results. But when you ease into the process, when you trust that what's meant for you will come, you allow space for everything to unfold perfectly. You don't need to manipulate circumstances or rush through every challenge. The right opportunities will come at the right time. It's about being present, doing your best, and trusting that the universe is working on your behalf. When you let go of control, you allow things to align in their own time. The effort you put in becomes more meaningful because you're not facing an outcome. You're embracing the journey. So the art of ease isn't about doing less. It's about doing what you can and letting go of the rest. When you stop forcing, you create room for what's meant to be. Success becomes less about struggle and more about flow. We live in a world where control is often seen as the key to success. The more we control, the more we believe we can shape our outcomes. But what if control is actually holding us back? What if the key to success lies in releasing that control and letting life unfold naturally? Now, releasing control doesn't mean giving up or quitting. It means understanding that there are certain things in life you simply cannot control. You can't control other people's actions. You can't always control the timing of your success. And you can't force things to happen faster than they're meant to. When you try to control everything, you put unnecessary pressure on yourself. And this pressure only leads to stress and frustration. The truth is, life has a natural flow. And when you stop trying to force your will onto every situation, you open yourself up to receiving what's meant for you. It's like planting a seed. You can't force it to grow any faster. You water it, you give it sunlight, but in the end, it grows on its own time. If you keep tugging at it, trying to make it grow faster, you'll only harm it. Life, the more you try to force things, the more you close yourself off to new possibilities. Sometimes the things you think you want aren't the things you need. By letting go of control, you make space for opportunities and blessings that you might never have considered before. When you stop trying to manipulate every situation, you open yourself up to receiving what life has to offer, whether that's a new relationship, a better job, or a moment of peace. Releasing control also means trusting in the process. You have to trust that the right things will come when they're supposed to. It's about having faith that things are unfolding exactly as they should, even if you can't see the bigger picture yet. When you let go of the need to control, you stop fighting against the flow of life and start working with it. The moment you release control, you allow yourself to truly receive. You stop blocking what's meant for you and start trusting that everything will fall into place when it's time. Let go and watch as life starts to give you everything you've been trying so hard to force. In today's fast-paced world, we're often told that time is money and that we need to move quickly to keep up. But in the rush to get things done, we forget that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is simply wait. Patience isn't about doing nothing. It's about trusting that the right things will happen when the time is right. Patience is a quiet strength that requires discipline. It's not about sitting around and waiting for things to fall into place without action. It's about understanding that everything has its season. Some things take time to grow, and that's okay. When you rush the process, you risk missing out on valuable lessons that come from being patient. Think about nature. Trees don't grow overnight, and the seasons don't change in an instant. Every plant, every flower, every animal, all grow in their own time, according to a natural rhythm. Life works the same way. You might be working hard, striving toward your goals, but sometimes it takes time for things to unfold. This doesn't mean you're not on the right path. It just means that the timing isn't right yet. In fact, being patient allows you to use your energy in a more focused way. When you're not worried about rushing through the process, you can direct your efforts more effectively. You can focus on improving yourself, learning new skills, and growing in ways that prepare you for the opportunities when they do come. Rushing won't make you ready for what's ahead, but patience and working steadily while trusting the timing will. The beauty of patience is that it frees you from the pressure to perform on someone else's timeline. You stop comparing your progress to others and start focusing on your own path. You realize that everyone's journey is different. And just because someone else seems to be moving faster, doesn't mean they're further along. By embracing patience, you're not just waiting for the right time, you're becoming the person who can handle what comes next. And when the time does come, you'll be ready. You'll have the strength, wisdom, and resilience to take on what life has for you. Patience is not passive, it's an active trust in the process. It's the the quiet strength that allows you to move through life with purpose, without rushing, knowing that everything will happen in its own time. In life, we often find ourselves fighting against what's happening. We resist change, we resist challenges, and sometimes we even resist success because it feels too far out of reach or not the way we imagined it. But resistance only leads to struggle. The more we try to force things our way, the more we fight against the natural flow of life. It's like trying to swim against a current. You might be giving everything you've got, but the harder you fight, the harder it becomes. Surrendering resistance means accepting life as it comes without constantly trying to change or control every little thing. It doesn't mean giving up or settling for less. It means trusting that life has its own path, and fighting against it is only going to hold you back. When you stop battling, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and start flowing with the current of life. Think about it. How often do you resist something simply because it's uncomfortable or unfamiliar? Maybe it's a new job, a new opportunity, or even a difficult challenge you're facing. But what if that discomfort is the very thing you need to grow? What if resisting it is keeping you from becoming the person you're meant to be? Surrendering resistance doesn't mean you stop working hard or stop caring about the outcome. It means you stop trying to control every step, every detail. Instead of fighting every obstacle, you learn to embrace them as opportunities for growth. You start to see the lessons in every challenge, and you understand that each setback is simply a stepping stone toward your bigger goal. When you surrender resistance, you also stop trying to make everything perfect. Perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist. But when you allow things to unfold naturally without trying to force them into your idea of perfection, you start to see the beauty in the process itself. The imperfect moments, the mistakes, the learning experiences, they all add up to something far greater than any picture-perfect result. So, stop fighting against life. Stop resisting the challenges and the changes that come your way. Embrace them. Learn from them. Trust that everything you're experiencing is part of your growth, part of the journey. When you let go of resistance, you allow life to flow. And that's when things truly start to fall into place. In life, we often feel the need to push ourselves in many directions, thinking that we have to be everything, do everything, and achieve everything right now. But in reality, we all have a unique path. When we start to flow with that path instead of fighting it, everything starts to feel easier, more natural, and more aligned with who we are meant to be. Flowing with purpose means understanding that everything in your life, every experience, and every choice is leading you exactly where you need to go. Think about the times when you forced yourself into situations that didn't feel right. Maybe you pushed for a job that didn't truly fit your skills, or pushed for a relationship that didn't make you feel complete. Even though you worked hard, something just felt off. That's because you were trying to move against the current of your own life. When you try to force things, you ignore the natural flow of your life. That's when resistance shows up. Flowing with purpose is about trusting that you don't need to push every moment. Instead, you follow the signals life is giving you. Sometimes the path might feel uncertain or unclear, but when you trust that there's a purpose behind it, you stop fighting to control the outcome. You learn to listen, to pay attention to the signs around you, and to trust your instincts. Life becomes less about trying to make things happen and more about allowing them to unfold in their own time. This doesn't mean that challenges won't arise. It doesn't mean there won't be moments of difficulty. But when you align with your true path, those challenges become stepping stones. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, you see them as opportunities to grow, to learn, and to become stronger. You start to trust that every twist and turn in the journey is part of a bigger plan, one that's unfolding perfectly for you. When you flow with purpose, you start to experience life with a sense of ease. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop rushing through every moment, and you focus instead on being present in your own journey. You realize that your path is unique, and it doesn't have to look like anyone else's. Trusting in your own direction and flowing with it brings peace, confidence, and clarity. Everything starts to come together naturally as you align purpose that was always meant for you. Each and every day you live, as you move forward, remember that everything you need is already within you. Trust your journey. Let go of the struggle and allow life to unfold as it should. Success isn't about forcing your way. It's about aligning with your true path and letting everything fall into place when the time is right. If this message resonated with you, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. How will you stop forcing and start flowing? Also, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to stay connected with more motivational content that will help you unlock your true potential.
What does alignment really mean? Man, that was good, wasn't it, y'all? That was one powerful, powerful thing. You know, I was thinking about something before I even go off into this next monologue. I know how important it is to be able to talk about something when it's fresh on your mind. So if you got anything to say, Rexo, based off what we just heard, you are welcome to comment right now if you want. If not, I am going to continue on.
No, definitely. No, hold on. Before you go, I mean, let's have this coherent conversation. Yes, it does align with everything.
Yeah, I think I'll go right on there.
Hey, how you doing, amazing lady? But, you know, I mean, not to take anything away from Denzel Washington, but he definitely bring a point across. When you set your mind to do what you want to do, you just got to take action. That's not on his word. That is on my own personal words. But when you set your mind to actually make a change in your life, you got to take actions. Because words without, work is not going to get you anywhere. Ultimately, we have to become the change that we would like to see in this world. So we just got to take action and not just speak about it. I just want to be sure with that, just to let that amazing lady speak her mind. I'm going to send it right back to her.
That was perfect, man. Great. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Go ahead, Unique.
It was short and cut, like, to the point. I guess I'm going through that as we speak. I'm trying to, like, put myself to a part where I am alignment. I'm trying to get this remote so I can shut this down, but I'm not. And then, so me being the whole part, the thing up in there, just take it off. Just take it off. There's no reason to be scared. Just take it off. Anyway, my bad. Being in alignment is literally is not everything that you see that you feel like you need to have. It is not for you at that moment. It's not for you at that moment. I don't care what it is that you feel like that this particular thing that you need. It is just not. Your alignment is going to tell you. You know what I'm saying? I think we force things a lot. And so when we try to force things, it comes out of alignment because that is not of alignment of what it is that is for you. Anything that is for you is going to be straight. It ain't going to be no crickets. It ain't going to be no guessing games. It ain't going to be anything of that. Is literally your alignment is sometimes sacrificing for the things that you really want. It could be something so good for you in the front of you, and you just have to just be like, okay, you know what? Hold that. Just that thought, that thing right there. But that's not my alignment right now. So you have to really discern what it is and what is your purpose, and let nothing and nobody get into that transition of yours. Period, point blank. It's going to be so many distractions. It's going to be so many temptations. It's going to be so many things. You got to find it within yourself. Because if you don't find it within yourself, somebody can easily come swoop that up from you. Whatever goal that you was trying to reach, whatever it is that you was trying to do so bad, it can be easily taken away from you because you're not on alignment. So when things is very plain and simple and telling you that, you know what I'm saying, it is not for you, see that shit and walk with it and accept it. It's going to hurt, whatever that case may be, but that is not in your alignment. I have to land my plane.
Well said, well said, well said. Y'all heard me say it before, and you'll hear me say it again. It's a rule that we go by when you're fixing things. You know, in the mechanical field, I don't care if you're fixing a car, you fixing a computer. It doesn't make a difference when you fixing things. One rule that helps guide people and helps reduce stress in those moments is this saying that if it don't fit, don't force it. If it don't move, don't make it. It's only till right now where that's really resonating with me and how much that actually flows to alignment. You know what I mean? How much that means, or let me say that, how much that requires. What that saying is for you to stop, think about it, take a hard pause, step back, relax. You know what I mean? And then in that moment, you just don't understand. You have to still trust the process, because I'm literally thinking about mechanical things right now. You know what I mean? Whether I'm at my job, I don't care. You know what I mean? When you stop and you relax and allow things to allow yourself to settle, it's crazy how you both have said, how it's said in the video. You have to allow things to come to you. You have to allow the solutions to come, and trust that they will. Trust that saying that everything you need, you already have. Everything is exactly the way it should be. You know what I mean? You have to trust your purpose and trust God, your creator, for that download. And understand, though, that it's going to come to you, whether it be in a voice or whatever the situation is, it just automatically hits you. It didn't come from no other physical being. It didn't come from you going nowhere and all that type of stuff. It's because you trusted yourself. You put trust in the process. And when you trust the process, it's amazing how things just work out. But that takes a lot of trust when things are not going your way. Go ahead, Rexo.
That is completely cool, and it's correct. It almost comes down to the same question that I go around different panels asking, because I like to hear people' personal opinion. I tell them, hey, you believe in heaven? Most of them just say yeah.
Peace.
And I ask them, so what do you expect to see in this amazing place you call heaven? And they'll tell me all kinds of stuff. Ultimately, I'll be like, can you create that here on earth? Like, can you create your own personal heaven in earth, where anything that you want to do, you could do it if you take action? So ultimately, I try to tell people that you could create your own heaven here on earth, and you don't have to wait to die to go to a better place. But ultimately, it's up to us to take action to become that change that you would like to see in the world. Other than that, you're waiting for somebody else to show you the way. But when you could actually create the way, then you leave a blueprint for everyone else to follow. That's all.
Absolutely.
I mean, ultimately, when it's up to us, amazing brother, I must send it right back to you. That's all I have to say.
Well said. Well said. Thank you for that. I believe it was Denzel Washington. One of his speeches, he said, don't follow the path that everybody else goes. Create your own path and leave a trail for other people to follow. And the amazing part of that is the understanding and the acceptance of how unique your journey is, how unique your path is, from your mindset, how you talk, where you want to go. This is your world. And like Rexo just said, you are the master creator. You dictate how and when and things go by how you think, by how you speak, by the actions you take, by you applying faith and trust, whether it be in your creator first, but in yourself even that much more. Understanding that your creator is in you and he made you that creative. Your ability to think things into existence, speak things into existence, and create is unlimited. Just like your unalienable rights. Your ability to contract is unlimited when you're living in the private under your true natural self. Anyway, what does alignment really mean? Alignment means your thoughts, your actions, your intentions are in harmony with your purpose. It's not just about doing more. It's about doing what's right now. Your inner life matching your outer life. Your decisions reflecting your vision. You're moving in sync with divine timing. That is the definition of alignment. There are some other points about alignment that I want to bring out. So alignment is internal first, external second. So most people chase success internally before they fix what's out of order inside. But the alignment starts in the mind, in your spirit, and in your habits. If the inner you isn't in sync with the outer world will always feel like it's in chaos. Alignment means saying yes to what matches your purpose. When you're in alignment, you don't say yes to everything. You say yes to the right things. Everything that looks good ain't good. It's just not good for you. Everything that looks good, everything that glitters not gold. Alignment gives you discernment. Another thing, alignment feels like flow, not force. Even in the season where everything feels smooth, like doors opening before you even knocked, that's alignment. You weren't pushing, you were flowing. When you were in rhythm with what God already had planned for you. Have you ever thought about those times when things just happen exactly the way? It was just like, I was just thinking about this and I got it. A matter of fact, have you ever been in a situation where the thought that you had, all of a sudden you look up and you ain't spoke it, you ain't wrote it down, you just thought this thing, and all of a sudden it appears in your life, almost kind of like how our cell phones do nowadays. You know what I mean? But our cell phones are listening and watching. So it's a whole lot of things that feed into that data that makes your cell phone automatically pop up some shoes you was just looking at. You know what I'm saying? Or something you was just thinking about, and all of a sudden, but that's because, they are that tapped in and tuned into who you are. Even more, matter of fact, the data and the things that they use to research to control us nowadays in the United States, they know us more than we know ourselves, for the most part. And the reason why, and I'm not going to say they, the algorithm, the AI, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? The reality is that it does what we don't want to do when we don't want to look on the inside and actually deal with and accept and acknowledge what it is that we really like, don't like, want, and don't want. But these algorithms and things they put together do that, and they use it against us. When you're aligned, decisions come easier. Confusion fades when you're aligned. You don't second guess that much. You don't chase options and opinions. You know who you are and where you want to go. in what you want to do in every decision. It even feeds and to inspire and encourage those decisions. Alignment connects to energy and environment. You can't be in alignment if people around you keep pulling you off your path. Your environment either nourishes you or nourishes your purpose, or it nags and pulls at your peace. That concept of alignment and how it connects to the energy of your environment, I just wanted to pause and for myself think about that, because I think that that's something that a lot of people initially, again, don't embrace how much who you are around, hell, where you live, and how much that can determine the direction that you go, the thoughts that you have, the things that you do, and it can knock you off your path, especially if you are the type of purpose. And this is something that a lot of men do, because I did it. You know what I mean? I've been married twice, 2 whole families and things like that. And I gave everything of myself. And I gave up a lot of what initially I looked at in regards to the point where me getting aligned was very, very hard. You know what I mean? I'll even jump to the end where after it was all done and over with, after 27 years, 2 whole families, 2 relationships and marriages back to back to back, at 47 years old, I found myself single and needing to get in alignment now. I was so I'm not going to say happy, but excited about the opportunity to now do and be who it is that I really wanted to be, because I had given all that up. And that's where this whole month's theme about alignment, acceleration, you know what I mean, faith, focus, and flow, all that is really, for me, important. So I am excited about all the stuff that we are going to be talking about this month, from day to day. Of course, as always, there's a theme for every week. You know what I mean? Today is Thriving Thursday, and that's what we're here to do. So I really, 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 really do appreciate everybody who's here again. So real quick, let's see. Rexo, I got a question for you. What part of your life feels out of sync right now? And I don't know if you just raised your hand, but that's perfect.
That's good. Yeah, I will go after this question that you asked. And that question is deep, because I have to actually reevaluate my whole life to find out what is missing. Like, what is missing here? Yes, I can live life according to my own turn, but I'm still finding something that is missing. And of course, and you could relate to this, it's love, you know, and not just love because I could give love unconditionally, but love in that way that I can receive it. Yes, it is missing. It's missing this part within me that I have been working on, that I could attract it to me instead of me looking for it. So, yes, I am 46, practicing celibacy for the last 6 years, and I still find myself by myself. So when I come to this point of my life, when I'm still projecting into the universe everything that I want, and all I could get in return is half of what I'm projecting, I cannot accept it. So yes, I'm looking for love, unconditional love, somebody that want to grow old with me, but I don't quite found it. that does not give me an excuse to stop from becoming the best version of myself. So I'm still doing everything that I can to help one another, but I'm still longing and wanting to have that other half that's going to complete me, even though the completion have to do with yourself, but you still want to find love, that significant other that will let you know, hey, I see your vision and I want to back you up. And even if you cannot accomplish it, I'm going to be there every step of the way. It's really hard to find that one because you want it attractive instead of you looking for it.
Ooh.
So when it comes to actually accomplishing this early stages in your life where you feel like, damn, I've done everything, but I still feel like something is missing. It will give you the strength to say, okay, let's keep on working in yourself, because it will come your way. You just have to be patient. Because a person that is impatient, that they cannot wait, they will actually run into a wall when they feel like, man, I'm doing something wrong. And it's not that you're doing something wrong, it's that you are being not patient. You're just not waiting for that right moment to recognize the signs to be with that person. Because I'm just thinking about me, my own personal life right now. I'm just waiting for that person to find me, because I found so many and it didn't work. And I shared kids with 3 different women, but it didn't work to grow old with that person. So I have to, and I might sound a little bit emotional, but I have to be real with myself. I haven't found that person yet that can actually feel like, hey, we can actually make that happen together. We can work with one another together. And it does not matter what the world thinks. It only matters what we think about each other. And it's really hard to actually walk the right path when you feel like you are walking it alone. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you for real, open heart, it's really hard. Like 46, I got 5 kids. My youngest is 22. Just made me a grandfather not too long ago. And I feel like, man, I made it all the way to here, but I still cannot grow old with someone. It shouldn't be something wrong with anything else or anyone else. You just feel like I'm not doing the right thing. Although I'm feeling like I'm doing the right thing, but I feel like something is missing and I cannot quite put my finger on it. So that's all I wanted to say, my brother, man. And hopefully you could give me a good advice about what's going on.
Yeah, man. And thank you for sharing that. I can too relate in regards to that missing piece. And I think that when it comes to the advice of it all, because I'm single, you actually said something, about how hard it is to find somebody who loves you, supports you, right where you are with what you have, because of who you are. And that's hard to run across. Made me feel some kind of way, because I do got somebody like that. But because of exactly some of the things that you were just talking about when it comes into your past relationships, for me, it's really, really hard for me to go into another relationship because of the past issues that I've had. You know what I mean? I find it very important as a man to get myself together and ground myself first. And I said that in this new journey that I was on, a couple of years back, when everything changed, that I would not get into another relationship and commit myself like that, and give up myself like that until I found and was back in alignment with myself. And So for me, that's where I can really, really relate to you, because it is a lonely road. But it's very, very important to do like what we talked about earlier when we talked about trusting the process and allowing that person to come to you. You know what I mean? We had a big discussion one day on AZ's panel about, you were there, you know what I mean, about choosing a woman. I think that choice still needs to be made, and that's a point that you made that day. But that's kind of where I'm at when I'm at, like, you know what I mean, letting her choose you, or finding a woman who chooses you, who likes you for who you are, who loves you with who you are, who inspires and encourages you, who's on your side. Without you having to force it or make it happen, which in my opinion is the problem, is the issue with dudes choosing women, you know, because I really, really, well, the reality is that when you choose her and she didn't choose you, now you trying to make her, now you chasing, you know what I mean? We talked about that earlier. Alignment doesn't chase, you know what I mean? Yeah, alignment doesn't chase. You know what I mean? When you're in alignment, things come to you. You know what I mean? It's just, you just going with the flow because you're being. And that's where that mental mindset, the power of your thoughts, your inner feelings come into play. Because you have to understand how powerful you really are. Your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts. Before you said a word, you are creating, you are manifesting. And if you can trust in that, you know what I mean? Then you can walk in a certain peace and harmony. Welcome, welcome, hood mama. You can walk in a place of harmony and peace to the point where, because you know this, when you are in that special place around that woman who is for you, you'll know it. You know, you'll know it, whether it be over a specific amount of time. Hey, it could be that's where, in my opinion, when it comes to being in alignment, that's where you find those couples that say that they found love at first sight. You know what I mean? Did something like got married weeks or a couple of months later and still together to this day for decades and years. You know what I mean? That right there, that's alignment. When you can find somebody and match up with somebody in your life like that, I mean, that right there is, oh my God, that's just an even good thought to have. Because again, you didn't force it. You didn't make that happen. You didn't chase. You didn't have to spend a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to do a lot of things. You were just you. She is just her. And y'all just fit together. And that's where that concept that we're talking about today in regards to not forcing things, but allowing them to happen really plays. Because it sounds reckless in one point, in one stance. I'm not going to lie, I really feel like that. You know what I mean? When I think of that whole thing, how did I say it earlier? Or I say you don't chase, you attract. But that, you know, when you are in alignment, you just move with a certain confidence in being, and that confidence is important. That trust in yourself is important. That belief in yourself is important, because you are walking with purpose, on purpose. And when you get into those special moments in those special places, welcome, 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 it's amazing how things just fall into place. Go ahead, Rexo.
But yeah, man, like, I'm being vulnerable out here. So it goes like this, pretty much. I'm into brother.
You're good, man.
And I know that I could talk to you in this level because, you know, I go to different panels. Israel is a different panel, and other people that I go is different panel. So when I come to you, I already see that you actually have not a soft heart, but you can actually look into what someone else is actually going through to give them the best advice you can. So when I'm coming to you right now, vulnerably, I'll tell you, yes, in this, listen, you can laugh at it, and I'm gonna laugh with you because I know it's something that may make you feel a little bit humorous. So I tell people, because it's really what is going on in my own personal life, I tell people mentally I'm growing old with somebody, but in my physical reality, in my realm, it doesn't exist. It's just this person that I projected that is coming into my life. And I'm growing old with that person, although she does not exist in my physical realm. I'm just practicing celibacy, waiting for this person that walk into my life. So when they ask me if I'm single, I tell them in my physical world, yes, I am. But mentally, I'm growing up with somebody. And that's like foreign language for someone that doesn't know my journey. And they might even look at me like I'm crazy because they don't understand. Oh, how is it that you're single, but you're still growing old with someone else in your mind? Yeah, in my mind, I projected this person that is exactly for me. And I'm growing old with that person, whether she exists or not in this realm. But in my mind, she does exist. She's there. And I'm having an amazing, beautiful time with this person. It just happened that in this physical realm, she doesn't exist. So yes, I'm single, but in my mind, I'm growing old with this person that I'm projecting to come into my mind, into my life. And it's really hard. I mean, how can you explain these things to the regular person, especially when it's a girl that is interested in me, but it's not the person that I projected to come into my life? And I tell her something like this, they'll be like, oh, this person got a mental case because I already projected and I'm visualizing it in my mind, in my conscious mind. I see myself growing old with this person, but she doesn't exist in my real physical world. It's really hard for a person to come and is interested in me and hear me talking this way. They feel like this guy is a nutcase, you know? So I let them be because I already know if you look at me it's that way, I mean, you're not the one for me. Right. You might be interested in me, but when you hear me speaking about that I'm growing old with someone in my mind that doesn't exist, you might think I'm crazy. So it's okay.
Yeah, that's what that could be. I can see how that could be a little much for somebody. I mean, it's for, especially if you don't have a nice pre-conversation before that comes out to the point where they can grasp and embrace where you come from. But that is a hell of a place to be when you meet someone and you realize that they really don't align with what it is that you really envision. That's where I believe, though, a lot of problems come from in relationships. A lot of situations turn bad because just because that person might not be who you didn't envision, you know what I mean, who you envision, doesn't mean that you can't still fall in love. Doesn't mean that you still can't fall in like with this individual. You know what I mean? You can develop feelings, songs. I mean, everything that you would like, you really kind of almost really want with the person that, or that one that you envision, except there's some missing pieces there, though. And that's where it's so important to be honest with yourself, first and foremost. that requires discipline. That requires trust and faith in the process, because it's crazy how much this really, really, really is relating to what I'm going through. You really have to trust that what you believe is for you is still coming. You know what I mean? The way that you see it. And to not choose that someone who is for you. I mean, now, mind you, we're talking about somebody who does like you now, somebody who possibly loved you too, but because you're not in alignment, you know what I'm saying, or because you're not in alignment, or she's not in alignment with what you are, what you're on. The danger of not being honest and not being truthful in the moment can determine your immediate future and even your long-term future. Just depends on how far you go with it. Because, I mean, my last relationship marriage was 18 years. And what I know now, and the reason why I'm so stubborn about it now, is because I knew then, before I met her, when I met her, and I'm talking about my second wife, that what was most important, no matter how much I liked this person, there was nothing more important than me getting myself together. My own this, my own that, my own this. Because as a man, what is a woman looking for? Right? What does she, quote unquote, want? She wants protection, stability. She wants to know that, you know what I mean, that you can be that provider for her. Ultimately, you know what I mean, along with some other things. But I know that, and even though there's a lot of people who are talking about growing together and all the different things, I think that it's very, very hard for, and it can be very, very detrimental for you to not listen to that situation. And I'm talking about listen to what's being said to you on the inside. You know what I mean? You having those, because in the midst of you choosing, and whether you laying down next to her, whether y'all going somewhere, I mean, you know that, oh man, I am about to do this, but I still didn't do what I was supposed to do for myself. And she's telling me that she loves me enough to where I don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? She just wants to be with me, and we're going to do this together. But man, that is a hell of a risk. Do I really want to do that? Well, I did. And 18 years later, I still needed to. That was deep. Even though I had my successes and things like that, but I still found myself, after all that, I was right back where I was before, in a space where I needed to build and create for myself, by myself, before I had anybody else. And welcome, Queen Cherokee, to the stage. Peace, love, light, and abundance to you.
Good positive about your way. I met you, lady. I haven't talked to you in so long. I miss you. Sending good positive vibes as always.
Yeah, she's actually on the YouTube channel. She's actually up live with me right now on the YouTube channel. So it is good seeing you here, Queen. How are you doing tonight? And I don't know what's going on there, but anyway,
Reading
wow.
your comments. Do you read
Yeah, that's what I was just sitting there reading when I was here. Annie T said, I knew it before I got married, and still. Yeah. I mean, that is just so. Maybe I got another thing. I'll try this one. I'll try that one. But I'm trying to get Queen over here on the stage. I'm sorry for the distraction, y'all. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, I'm talking about being honest, being truthful about yourself in that moment. Because you know, like she said, she knew, but how much self-control does that take? How much discipline does that take? And we're not even talking about you being honest and truthful with the person that, you know what I mean, you are with at that moment or considering at that moment, because you being that honest could possibly crush them, like you said. Rexo, you know what I mean? You are with this person, y'all been spending time together, laughing, giggling, hell, you might have had sex a few times, who knows how it went. But now all of a sudden, we've got to that moment and that conversation came up and you end up being that honest. And the way you put it, Rexo, yeah, she might think you crazy. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? She's gonna, you know what I mean? She could be totally crushed by that experience. I think I hear you, Queen. I got to figure out how to, I don't know. One thing is, y'all, when it comes to this new setup for everybody who's watching or listening on YouTube and BIGO and things like that, I am getting back into the swing of things. Raxo got on my head off top. I've been missing and things like that. So I haven't really got my flow back together with all my equipment and things like that. So I'm not 100% sure if we're going to be able to hear you, Queen. But how you doing tonight? Thank you.
I'm well. Hello. We are on the Chocolate Goodie Show. I finally made it.
Yes, you did.
How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good.
I see you passionate tonight. What are we talking about? Relationships?
No,
What's
we're talking about alignment. We're talking about alignment. So this month is about getting in alignment and accelerating your life. About faith, focus, and flow. Is the theme. You know what I mean? Alignment and acceleration, faith, focus, and flow. That's the overall theme of tonight. But we've talked about tonight specifically is about basically understanding that this is the start of a new month and starting it in a divine order where you're aligned and activated. One of the things that I said, and one of the things that kind of really brought on this conversation was that mindset that you don't chase what you attract through alignment. You attract it by becoming it. And we just kind of were digging into, actually, I had asked Rexo a question in regards to, let me see, what was that question? It said, I asked him what part of your life feels out of sync. And he said he had an amazing answer, very, very deep and personal. I appreciate you sharing, Rexo. He said love.
Hey, Rexo.
I don't know. Y'all know. Yeah, he can hear you. Great. But hey, what's going on? Peace and abundance to you, brother. Welcome.
Empathy. What's going on? Got the whole crew here tonight. That's what's up.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on with you, bro? Yeah.
Right. You know, I'm just doing what's good.
Man, what's going on, man? We talking about getting aligned and activated tonight. You know what I mean? Face focus and follow through. You know, and I got you on the panel here with me now. I am live on YouTube. I don't know, am I live on YouTube? Am I recording live? I'm kind of confused. I just did.
No, you're live. If you are on YouTube right now, you're live on YouTube as well.
Okay, so yes, I am live over there too. So, and if any of you all who might be listening on BIGO, all you have to do is type in Chocolate Goodie BIGO Live, and you'll be able to see my content. Go ahead and check out the channel, subscribe to the channel, and tap in, ask questions. You know what I mean? And join in sometime. But yeah, so I had asked. Go ahead, Em.
You on YouTube too right now?
Yeah.
What's up, French?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna tap in on YouTube too right now.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Sending you positive vibes. Hey, Queen Cherokee, since I could hear you clearly through BIGO, and I want to let you know that I miss you, girl. I miss you.
I miss you too.
All you are being playing is music, but I just want to let you know that I miss you. I'm sending nothing but good positive vibes, and it's very nice to hear your voice.
Thank you. Likewise, brother. Likewise. I love when my brothers are around. I feel the strength in the room. You know, I feel protected right now. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, I feel protected. Thank y'all for being around me. I love it.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. I do really, really appreciate everybody for being here, because this for me is another it's like confirmation of alignment, right?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because just everybody being here, the conversation and what we're doing, I mean, it just lines up with part of that vision, part of who I am, part of the things that I foreseen and picture of being possible in my life when it comes to the show and different things like that. And here we are, you know.
Right.
So this is a moment. This is a moment because this is the first time that I've been live on YouTube and had a guest. So Queen Cherokee, thank you so much. Soul Tribe in the house, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Soul Tribe in the house. If you don't know, now you know. As a matter of fact, Queen Cherokee is the co-founder, you know what I mean, of the Soul Tribe, the mama of the Soul Tribe. You know what I mean? She is an amazing woman. Definitely for anybody who might be watching, follow her. We are working on the Soul Tribe YouTube channel too. Follow the Soul Tribe on there. And if you don't happen to have a home and you are a family on BIGO, come check us out. You know what I mean? We I want to say we are a tribe of grown folks who
Keep it real.
yeah, keep it real. You know what I mean? We like I was talking about, not forcing things that don't fit, don't move things that don't make, but we will love you right where you are, how you
That
are,
part.
for who you are. And our goal is for you to continue to go and grow with us together,
That part.
constantly becoming, you know what I mean? Accepting and embracing the change. Even more importantly, accepting that power that you have in you, that innate God-given power that nobody can take away, that was gifted to you for you to change and create your world. You know, and I'm gonna say it again, this is your world. I think one of the fourth things I talked about with alignment, alignment said when you're aligned, your decisions become easier. Confusion fades when you're aligned. You don't second guess, you don't chase, you know who you are, and you know what you want to do in every decision. And I think that even feeds more into what you were talking about, Rexo, before, or how it bleeds into answering that question or providing that advice of trusting that in you in regards to what it is that you expect and want, and know that it's coming. But the other thing is, when it comes into this thing about alignment, for me, and y'all can agree or disagree or add to, is that even in that patience, even in that trusting in the process, it's very important for you to remain aware and be ready to answer the moment. I think that's deep. I think that is, even when it comes into relationships, whether it be a business, whatever it is in your life, when you are in that moment and you're going and you're grinding and you're becoming, I mean, you don't have what it is that you want. You're not exactly where you want to go, but you know you're on your way. You're trusting the universe to provide this or her or whatever it is to you. But you can miss out on that moment if you're not aware of how powerful of what you just did. You know what I mean? Do y'all believe there should be a certain amount of expectation with that? I think with your alignment.
No, I'm with you. Like in my own personal journey, I feel like I misread the signs where I'm supposed to recognize this person coming into my life, and I let them just walk by. And I'm in a place in my life where I don't want to misread the signs. And I'm going to let the next person that I'm supposed to grow old with just walk by my life because I didn't recognize the signs. Because we are projecting so much, and then that person may come into our life, and then we just miss the chance because we didn't know how to recognize the signs. And that's what I'm finding myself at this point in my life. Like, man, I miss so many amazing women, and some of these women want to be with me, and then since I already projected and pictured this unique person that come into my life, and I'm growing old with her mentally, even though it doesn't exist in my real world, I'll be like, man, I must have missed the signs because they must have just walked right past me. We probably have amazing conversations, but I let them go because I didn't recognize the signs. And I just don't want that to keep on happening because I know that when I'm projecting, it's coming and I don't have to look for it. But if I don't recognize the sign, they're just going to walk right past me. And I'll be like, damn, man, did I miss the signs? And that's the state, that's the place that I found myself lately. Like, did I miss the sign? Because I've seen so many amazing women walking into my life. But just because I projected something so unbelievable to come in, and it came, but then I missed the sign that I just missed my opportunity, and now I have to wait again. And I'm just like at that point where like, damn, man, I just cannot miss the signs anymore.
Wow. That's huge, man. Queen, I really want you to tap in on that, but I want to, that what you just said, you know, I just don't want to miss the signs anymore. That is so on track with, hell, even the reason for this pause I just had going live. I am so aware of the fact that everything I do day in, day out, from month to month, not even thinking year to year, is detrimental to me being able to achieve what it is that I'm trying to achieve within these next 4 years, if nothing else. And that I am 51 years old. I'm not a young dude anymore. I don't have another 2-3 times or all these other opportunities to catch it again, because I myself know that I miss things, opportunities that would have drastically changed my life, whether it be people, jobs, just things. I mean, actually me acting on, I mean, to the point where it is a real thing for you not to be ready and it show up. And you know it showed up and you know you're not ready. You know it showed up because you thought it, you believed it, you desired it, and the next thing you know, boom, it's there, but you ain't ready because you were distracted in other ways. You know what I mean? You didn't have that confidence and the belief and that understanding of how powerful what it was that you believed and the things that you think about really are, especially when you really want them. One of the things, even back when I was a Christian, was that, and I want you to tap in, Queen, if you want. Back when I was a Christian, one of the things that I had when it came into making God move, you know what I mean? Because I really didn't get off into the like the Bible says, don't be like the scribes and Pharisees playing the vain repetitions prayers all the time, asking and asking, praying and praying and begging and pleading every night for God to do and all this type of stuff. I believed then that he moved off the intent. I mean, it's in the Bible. You know what I mean? You know, whatsoever a man thinketh, so is he. Ask you shall receive, seek you shall find, knocking the door shall be open. But what happens, that activation is so locked in to you and what you really want. How much do you really, I mean, is your heart really wanting this? What? Because if you really want it, if you really believe it on any level, literally, you can have it. It'll happen. How do you feel about that? Go ahead, tap in.
Yeah, I believe that, you know, anything that you believe, and I say that word in a really big way, believe has to turn into now knowing it. I know I'm going to find the right person. I know when she gets here, I'm going to recognize her. I know this job is going to work out for me. So sometimes when we're going for something in our lives, we're trying to go by the scriptures, you know, that what you believe, you know, all of the scriptures that come through when it talks about manifesting things into your life. Manifesting things also starts, and it always has to be you knowing it and walking in you knowing that this is going to be what you believe it to be. Because I noticed the difference in my life when I know and I walk in the spirit of knowing something for sure, than when I'm hoping or I'm praying or I'm wishing or I'm maybe. When I don't operate in those words and I operate in I know this is going to happen, it happens. It's that simple. You have to know it's going to happen. And one thing about it I've been doing lately is that I've been asking, you know, I've been talking, me and Chocolate had talked about this before. I have been talking to God like he was right there, the gods. I've been talking to him. I have this room in my house. I go in the back room and I sit there and I talk to them like I'm talking to y'all right now. And I talk to them like, look, I know y'all there. I know y'all hear me. I know you exist because I'm here. You created me. You know my thoughts. You know my will, my desires, my wants, my needs. You know all of that. So help me out a little bit. I talk like that to them. Why? Because it's not about the prayer way, you know, the churchy way of praying for things. Prayer to me now means talking to God like they are right in front of me. And listening for their voice to answer me, because they always do. We just don't think it's their voice. And we second guess whether or not what we're listening to is the right thing or the wrong thing. No, you created your reality. What you believe about yourself will come true. What if you don't believe that you can do this, it won't happen. Some stuff is that simple as if you don't believe it, how in the world I'm gonna believe something more than you for your life? I can't believe it more than you. I can't know it more than you. You have to know it, and you have to operate in knowing it and walking like you know this is going to work for you. This woman is going to be in my life, and it's going to happen before I turn 55. Before I turn 54, 56, whatever. This job is going to call me this week, and I'm going to get the hours that I asked for. Because the gods know me. I'm here for a reason. I'm still here, so obviously they need me here. So you have to start talking to God like that. And stop doing this, you know, this prayer thing that we do with church, you know, how we pray. We're done with that. Talk to them like they in the room with you, because they are. Talk to them like they sitting next to you, because they are. You feel what I'm saying? It's that real. We got to get that real about what we are here for, and who created us to be on this plane and on this planet to do what we're doing. If we have a purpose, they know what that purpose is. Even if you don't know what that purpose is, they know what it is. And one thing I noticed lately is that they'll guide you. If you walk, every time I get up in the morning, I start my morning off with prayer. And I start my morning off talking to them. And I ask for protection of my children, my grandchildren, the soul tribe, my friends, my BIGO friends, my Facebook friends. I put everybody in there. And I said, everybody that's under my protection, give them the answers they need today, God, whatever that might be. And then I start naming all of my children off. And I said, whatever their issues are, help them to see the light of it and help them to recognize what they're seeing as that it's you showing them what they need to see. But I got away from talking to God in prayer as if I'm getting on my knees and praying with my hands up to, closed. And, I'm done with that. I'm talking to them like they real and they're responding to me in a real way. It works. Because when they know they're there for real, they show up and they answer and they give you what you're asking for because they know I'm not hiding nothing from you, God. You know all things. The stuff that people don't know about me, you know it. So let's get real right now. Let's get real about everything right now. And when you talk to them like that, they answer. And they give you what you want.
Well, my sister Cherokee, taking in consideration everything that you say.
Yes, sir.
So why that person haven't come into your life yet? Have you missed the signs?
Ask God to give you that person. Ask if you believe that person came into your life, then ask God, say, I think I missed my cue. Can you resend her back to me?
Mm-hmm.
Give me another opportunity. See, this is what I'm talking about being real. You got to be real about that too. If that's how you feel and you feel like she passed you, then ask God to bring her back in focus for you so that you can see her. Be that real.
Definitely real. But like taking you in consideration, have you missed the signs? Because we know you're single, right?
I'm dating someone. I'm dating someone.
It's kind of sort of something like something.
Right.
Yeah. I feel you completely in that one because I miss a lot of signs. Amazing woman have come into my life. The next thing I know, I feel like that's not what I projected. And then I found myself questioning myself. Did I miss the signs? Did I miss the signs? Because yes, it came out in every category, but somehow I let it go. And then I feel like, I'm right back at step one, waiting for that one that I'm projecting that and grow old with. And I feel like, man, it's been a few girls that come into my life, and I feel like they're just not right. And ultimately, I feel like maybe I just missed the signs.
I believe that there's a second option to that. I believe there's a second option to that because I believe that there's no such thing as missed signs. You can miss a cue that somebody's interested, but if you believe that God loves you like that, and I believe God loves you for real, and I believe that he will protect you from the unseen things that you think is there that's not. So when that person is not in your life, and just because you thought they were wonderful, the gods might have said, "No, no, we're not going to let her come in and mess his life up," because what he don't know is what we're protecting him from.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that
Congratulations, you are dating, and you know, maybe in the future we'll hear some real good, you know, stories about your dating life. But thank you so much for giving us that much information about your own personal life. All I wanted to let you know is that I'm sending nothing but good positive vibes. I miss you in BIGO, and I know that you're doing your thing, amazing lady. Hopefully, when you open your radio station in BIGO, you see all of my messages when I come there and be like, "Hey, amazing young lady," even though that you never respond.
I see every one of them. I see every one of them.
I'm here. You know what I mean? And I miss you, amazing lady, man. I'm sending nothing but good positive vibes your way.
Yeah.
Thank you, Waxo. And can I tell you this? Your heart is so pure. You have a pure in heart type of energy. And women know that about you. And can I tell you that the women today are so polluted as to what a good guy is, that if they miss you, please count that as joy. It's not always a loss, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather them mess up another no good ass nigga than to mess up my racks up.
Yeah, it's good. One of a kind, that's for sure.
One of a kind. Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to take a real quick time and see if I can't coordinate this. And you know what I say, pay the bills.
I'll be right back there.
All right.
Hey family, this is your boy Chocolate Goodie. I just wanted to take a moment and say, this journey, this movement, is not just about me, it's about us. Together we're building something incredible, a community of action takers, dreamers and doers. But here's the truth, none of this happens without you. Every gift, every follow, every share, it's more than just a gesture, it's fuel for the vision. When you drop a gift, when you tap that follow button, you're not just supporting me, you're helping to spread positivity and empowerment and motivation to even more people. Your support helps us create more shows, bring more powerful guests, and helps me build a platform where everybody can shine. And if you support positive vibes, and you like what we're doing over here in the Soul Tribe family, growing and building a community of action takers and believers, then share the room, tap that screen, don't be mean, drop a bean, and do me a big favor and support my YouTube channel. Remember, together we are stronger. So educate yourself, ask questions, and verify everything. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me today. Let's go, let's grow. Hey family.
Yeah, that was a little janky. For those who are on YouTube, appreciate your patience. I don't know what that sounded like, but I did try to coordinate it, but I hit the wrong one on BIGO, and didn't really go the way I wanted it to, but we made it through it. We back. one of the things that I think kind of goes along with what we're talking about is what I mentioned before when I said that you can't be in alignment if the people around you are pulling you off your path. We talked about a little bit about how your environment nourishes. It's either going to nourish your purpose or it's going to pull from your peace. That space of inconsistency when you know you're off, I think is a very, very important and valuable place to pay attention to. When it comes into, let me say, activating your alignment, because you are aware. It requires that space of honesty, you know what I mean, with yourself, where you are able to be honest with yourself in that moment and do what's necessary to get back in place. And what I mean by do what's necessary, sometimes that means do nothing. Sometimes what I found is that I have to allow the universe to I want to say sometimes I want to say catch up. Part of me wants to say catch up. The other part really wants to say show me my next step. You know what I mean? It's like I fall into this place where, okay, out of all the stuff that's going on, for some reason right now, things just don't feel right. Because I feel like I'm doing all this stuff, but I don't know what to do. And I feel like if I do this, it just don't feel right now. So I step back. And actually, for me, as somebody who's always thinking, always creating, always busy, I've learned to take advantage of those moments and relax. I mean, whether I go watch a TV show, whether I'm just laying there just let go. The ability of the importance to be able to let go in the midst of, that is trust. That is faith in your creator, in your purpose, in how much you've learned along the way about how things will work out, about how true it is that everything is going to be all right. You know what I mean? Because what's happened at this point is that you've been through enough in life where you realize that you end up okay. Cat Williams said, no, I wasn't. Was that Cat Williams? No, that was Steve Harvey said, we've made it through 100% of the things we've been through. He didn't say things. He said, we've made it through 100% of the shit we've been through. Everybody listening right now, you've made it. You're still here. And your ability to embrace that is pivotal. It can be life-changing when you can sit back and acknowledge what it is that you went through, when you can go back and reflect on how it is you got there, how you were feeling, the things you did and all that type of stuff, and be able to pull from the wisdom of that and understand that in the midst of everything, that where you are right now, in a happy moment, when you're in that good place, that you would not be in that place. You would not have what you have. You would not be where you would be if things had went the way that you thought they should go. But you find out that you trusting the process, you embracing the moment, trusting your creator, taking the necessary steps. Y'all hear me say all the time, don't let what you can't do stop you from doing what you can do. But when you are doing what you can do, when you can do it, and trusting yourself and the process along the way, who has not ended up in a better place? Who has not found themselves having what it is that they want? You know what I'm saying? It might not be what you envisioned initially. And that's where, Brother Rex, so I was thinking about this when Queen was talking about that discernment in that moment. Because one thing we do have to be honest with is that there is no such thing as a perfect person. There's nobody that we're going to meet that we're not going to have a conflict with at some point. You don't fall in love, you grow in love. Relationships don't happen, they're built over time. You hear me say that all the time. So knowing that and embracing that means that it's not about you not having conflict, but it's about you being able to grow through that together, about you being able to be honest back and forth with each other. You know what I mean? And that's where those little quirks and twinks of about the other person's personality and your personality, when it comes to y'all coming together, can work out. So I don't know. I kind of want to encourage you, and I'm encouraging myself in this too, is that, you know, in that moment when you have another person that is with you and that opportunity is, and you see that opportunity present itself, I think that sometimes that does require that time to even stop, think about it, and embrace before you make that decision, Brother Rexo, to have that conversation, to tell her, you know what I'm saying, about what it was you truly envisioned. You know what I'm saying? Because you might find that even though in that moment when you wanted to have that honest moment, you know what I mean, that you could hold off for a little bit and just acknowledge that was a time where you could have expressed your feelings at that point. But like you said, especially when there's so many things on that box that are checked off for this individual, you know what I mean, to maybe give it a little bit more time before you, I don't want to say not destroy the moment, because that conversation in itself can be enough to discourage, you know what I mean, a woman from wanting to continue to be with you. Because basically what you're saying is that, hey, I like you, but not like that. You know what I mean? I like you, but you know what I mean, you know what I mean, and you just not the one that I pictured or I envisioned. And that's something heavy. That's heavy to embrace. That's heavy to say. And it's very, very, very important that I think that we are conscious of that moment. And at the same time, though, if you know, you know. Hey, Unique, welcome, welcome. If you know, you know. And it's very important to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel you need to, hey, and it's said, I mean, the reality is that once it came out your mouth, it was initially meant to be. You know what I'm saying? It falls into one of those moments where it's not about, you know, I don't believe in coincidences. You know what I mean? Sometimes we can do things that we don't feel like we should have did and shit shouldn't happen, but it did. And now it's done. And now you got to work with it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it is very important to trust the process. That's where you even trust in the process, even in that moment when it comes into a relationship. You know what I mean? And understand the power of your words and your feelings, because what you say can change everything. Go ahead, brother. You was about to say something.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you in every point that you made. I just think that, and please don't shut me down with what I'm about to say, but like, I just feel like I have to put my expectations down a little bit. Just because a person doesn't check every box that I projected does not mean that that's not the person for me. And I have to be real with myself. Yeah, I got so many boxes to check on when this person come into my life, and I be checking them on one by one. And some of them they miss. And I be thinking personally that maybe that's how I miss the signs, just because they don't fill all of my boxes. Mm-hmm. And that's something that only a person that have grown from within get to admit to themselves, like, man, I put too much expectations of all of these boxes, I should just get rid of some of these boxes.
Mhm.
And sometimes that's the way that we miss the signs when someone amazing come into your life, because you expect them to fill all of these boxes. And sometimes you have to be realistic and be like, man, some of these boxes that are projected for this person to be in, it's just pretty much off the wall. I should just throw them away and accept the boxes that they checked in, even if they didn't check all of their boxes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean that it has its pluses and minuses. You know what I'm saying? But in that spirit though of trusting the process, I think that that's appropriate. You know what I'm saying? I think it's appropriate because in chess, in life they say make your next move your best move, and that's a move that can be made. And I think that happens though in all the relationships. Like we said, sometimes that this ain't for you, and then you do it anyway because you're going to do what? Trust the process. But when you actually have somebody in your life who are checking these boxes, who is on your side and for you and all that type of stuff, yeah, that is a very, very, very sticky thing to do, to choose not to. Because, like you said, believe me, you don't know how much this is relevant for me right now.
Oh, sorry about that.
When you said,
wait a minute.
Welcome. Please mute your mic. Thank you. When you said, am I missing the signs? Because you could be missing that opportunity. And that's where that discernment and stuff comes in. That's where trusting the process comes in. That's where this coming in alignment and being aligned really comes in at, because we're talking about decision-making processes, right? We're talking about getting the best what is for you in your life. And here it is. You thought it, you wanted it, and this person, this thing all of a sudden has came up in your life. You weren't expecting it, but they're there now. But you're not ready, you say. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't check all the boxes, or you got this, whatever it is that's stopping you from making you feel that way. And if you don't move, hey, welcome, Matt, you can lose that opportunity. And like you said, who knows how long that could be before, you know what I mean? Now you have to wait again. Queen Cherry,
I have a question.
Yeah.
And I'm listening. I'm listening to everybody. I'm listening to you. And, can you guys hear me real good?
Yeah, now I can. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can hear me? Okay. And I'm listening to you guys, and I've heard when I talk to men, single men, in our age group, and single women in the same age group, everybody has the same issues. The right time, they don't check off all my boxes. Can I tell you something? Even if they checked out all of your boxes right now for about a year, maybe 2, they might keep checking them boxes off. But in that second year, somewhere around the middle, the boxes start getting, a little short. They don't check off them boxes no more. What do you do then when you think you're getting something in the beginning because all your boxes are checked off, but down the line, for some reason, probably you guys arguing or some disagreement, she stops doing stuff for you now. She don't want to iron your clothes with an apron on and her butt out, little stuff like that we try to do in the beginning, trying to prove ourselves to be, all of that stuff. but she stops doing it, or he stops, giving you the credit card, because that was one of your boxes. You needed his credit card at all times, because if I'm in your life, you definitely going to give me that. So my question is that why do we have these things about our boxes, or, am I missing the cue? What about intent? What do you, when you meet somebody, what do you intend for that person? Do you intend to just sleep with them for the night? Do you intend to make them a friend? Do you intend to take them out a few times and just see what they're about mentally? Do you plan on marrying that person? Is it love at first sight? What is your intent in the beginning, having these female friends or these male friends that come into your lives? These are things you got to think about. What is my intention for even giving this person any more conversation? Do I plan on marrying them tomorrow or in another year? What is your intent is my question. And I think that needs to be the focus with people, with us dating now. What is your intent? Because I don't want to waste nobody's time, and I don't want nobody wasting mine. Neither do you. So what do I intend for you? So when you meet somebody from now on, the conversation should go a little bit different, because, girl, what are you in my life for? Guys, y'all got to be real like that. Okay, baby girl, do you need a check or something? Do you want me to pay your bills? Baby daddy ain't doing his job. You need me to come in and be daddy to the kids because you having problems. Y'all need to ask questions like that, because if you don't know what her true intention is, then you are just it's like throwing dice at the wind. You don't know what you're finna get, but she looked good. She got the right body. She, his package is the right size. His wallets are deep, but character-wise, do you really know if they're going to switch up on you later? No, you don't. So be intentional when you're dating right now. I believe that we're not intentional enough, and it's almost like we're scared to ask the questions that is going to affect you later in life. How do I want her to respond to me? I need to, matter of fact, I'm going to use Chocolate right now. How do I want Chocolate to respond to me as my friend? Even as my friend, I need to make sure that Chocolate and I are going to go the distance, because the reason why I've been around Chocolate this long, the reason why I still talk to Unique and I still love her conversation, is because y'all vibe with me. I have not had an argument with y'all at all. And I'm paying attention to all of that shit.
Welcome.
So when we're dating and we're out there trying to make friendships and trying to call each other brother and sister, are they really sister material? Are they really brother material? Or will they leave you high and dry when you need them for real? Or they just saying, I'm a BIGO friend, I'm a Facebook friend? We got to start asking real questions that's going to affect you in dating. How do I like my eggs cooked? Do she really know? Or am I just letting her guess how I like to be, that I really want some pickles on the side and I got a weird taste for certain things? Do I want to let her know that right now? Or do I want to just, let her guess and keep messing it up? And then when I really get mad at her later on in life and we keep going down this road, I'm probably going to snap at her and say, by now you should know how fucking what my eggs done. Well, that would have been nice to know in the first couple of times I met you. Have those conversations, because until they're put in those situations, you don't know how they're going to respond. People always putting on their good face first, but the real shit that you need to know how they handle and what they do and how they're going to respond. Are they, the kind of person that's going to have you on the internet as she out there being a Karen to somebody? You got to know if this person will jump mad in front of you. Will she embarrass you at dinner? Will she get up and slam the table and walk out, because she had a flashback from the last guy doing something crazy or saying what you said to her? Let's go. These are questions. I'm just saying. Y'all got to ask this stuff, okay? Before you lay together, before you decide I want to go any further. Girl, let me see who you really are. Because right now, there's nothing for you to lose or me to lose right now if we tell each other the truth. Because the only reason why I would lie to you, girl, or a guy, is that I'm trying to fool you. I'm trying to trick you into liking me because I know it's something fucked up about me that I don't want you to know. So why not tell them the truth in the beginning? Make them tell you the truth, so you know what you're getting into. If I need you, you know what? I had 3 guys, cared about them deeply. When I tell you these were friends of mine,
I got you, Unique.
and to this day, they're still really good friends of mine. And when they told me I had to, I don't like this thing called arm candy. That shit pissed me off so much. I heard it throughout my whole life, and it was so annoying. Because I knew that meant that you don't want me to think. You just want me to be a doll on the side of you walking into places or whatever. And that annoyed me. But I heard that a few times, and I'm like, but it made me have to make a decision. Okay, well, you're not going to like talking to me. You don't want to get deep with me, because the minute I try to get deep with you, you're going to have a problem with it, because really all you want from me is to be a doll standing next to you. You don't want me to have an opinion. I knew that. And later on in life, as they were growing with their relationships, guess what they kept hearing? You don't want me to have a brain. Every woman they dated, you don't want me to think. You just want every opinion to be yours, and you don't respect a woman's opinion. She's just a doll to you. But I had to make that decision on some really good men that I thought was amazing. So we got to ask these questions so we know what we're truly getting into. So stop, don't get too deep physically and sexually until you know what's up here. And can you really vibe with that person forever?
Hey, welcome. Hey, welcome. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Unique had her hand and Rexo had her hand up. Welcome.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't see the screen. Let me go over there to BIGO. I'm going to go over there, okay? Where we at? Where y'all at over there?
Yeah. On my page. We're on my page. Yeah. Okay. I'll open it up. Okay. I'll open it up so you can come on the panel.
She's right here.
Okay. She's on YouTube. She's on YouTube.
Okay, I can't see y'all, so I didn't know y'all had your hands up. I'm just talking away. I'm so sorry, y'all. Let me do that, but let me finish what I'm doing here, because I'm actually finna get ready for bed. I will get back on with y'all, and I'll come over there to the room, okay? I'll see y'all in a minute.
All right, thank you, too. Thank you for showing up on the show. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube right now for everybody that's listening. And that was Queen Cherokee. She's going to be joining us here when she gets situated. If anybody else who might be wanting to, in the comments, if you like what you're hearing, want to join in, you're welcome to come on up and tap on in. We talking about alignment, focus. Faith, focus, and following through. But go ahead, Unique.
Her question was her statement. It wasn't a question. Mm-hmm. We need to be in alignment of asking questions, right? I'm just gonna keep it 100. Okay, I'm gonna keep it just all the way 100. Sometimes that woman just don't want to listen, Queen, and we gotta get our fucking head knocked against the goddamn washing machine, because we ain't listening, and we gonna have to figure that shit out the fucking hard way. I'm gonna just keep that shit 100. We could be a mother can tell us all the shit and give us the red signs all fucking day, but it's gonna take us to go through experience to get on that motherfucking alignment. I'm gonna just keep it real. If we don't go through the experience, then we would never know how it feels. Or when we get to that point when we get to that fucked up feeling, or we're gonna know the next time, because it's called patterns. Do you see what I'm saying? Once we get those patterns in, once we get that feeling in, okay, all right, nigga, you over here doing this same shit that I have to deal with, and I'm not gonna be able to do it. You gotta get tired of your own shit before you start getting with the shit of the alignment. I'm just gonna keep it 100. We do it all the time. I don't know about blessed, but I know I'm a woman and I got a whole ass pussy, but I'm telling you right now, I'm learning from the experience. I gotta go through that shit in order for me not to know what to do the next goddamn time. Period. You gotta go through it. You just gotta go through it. A motherfucker can tell you I don't want to be with you. You will have to go out around that donkey just because. You feel me? Because it looks good. You feel me? And a motherfucker gonna go with it because you allowed him to. So who we blame, him or her? I blame her. Period. Because you accepted it. You know what the fuck it is. You seen the goddamn, the whole instructions was right there for you, sweetheart. You choose to do what you want to. So I'm saying this to respond to her. Sometimes we gotta bump our head. And there's nothing wrong for a queen or a goddess or an empress to do that. That's called experience to get back on that alignment, to get back on what she needs to do because she has learned through that. We all go, I don't know. My girls come and talk to me all the time. Like, Mom, you did say this, and now I'm getting it. I can't do nothing but kiss them and say, hey, now dust yourself the fuck off and keep that shit pushing. Alignment is called experiences. When you go through experiences, it's called mistakes. And we talking about expectations too. Let's keep that 100. An expectation is you expecting me to do something that I clearly don't know what you want to do because we don't have no communication. How do I know what Bless like, what she eat, what she drink, anything of that matter? I don't ask her that. Expectations is saying I expect Bless to do this shit right the fuck now. You don't drink that Coke? Oh shit. She is a diet or whatever. That minds and them motherfucking goddamn questions is going to come about because there's no communication. Expectation meaning I'm putting you in a room and I expect you or I expect you to do this. You can't expect somebody to do that. You cannot put an expectation on somebody and they don't know the direction of where they're supposed to go. How do they know? I can't expect nobody to do that. That's what's called expectations. You're clearly putting a chore or something of you expect them to be like this. Oh, they don't act like that. It's time for me to go. Unconditional love means I love you through it all. Another question that she was saying, how about relationships? When we in relationships 2 years ago, of course I'm not going to be the same as women. But you know the characteristics of me, you know of me to say, okay, I'm willing to stay with this woman because I know that she's going to do this regardless. Her characteristics and her intelligence and who she is keeping me with her. But she's not going to be that same woman in the next 2 years from her. And therefore, I love her unconditionally to accept her and the changes that she's going to go through and everything that comes with that shit. Period. I feel like the first. You done?
Yeah. Rexo did have his hand up, Blessed, before you. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rexo.
Well, yes. I do agree with what Unique said in a certain extent, and I do agree with what Queen Cherokee said to a certain extent too. Now, I just don't know how to be any other way. I'm just gonna be real, and I'm gonna be vulnerable. So, what I'm about to say right here is according to my own personal journey, my own personal life. So yes, everything that both of these amazing ladies say is on point. But in my own personal life, what I expected, since we're speaking about, especially when it comes to Queen Cherokee, she pointed out a lot of things that I was saying, and that's what she said. But yes, I projected into the universe this amazing person that I'm growing old with mentally, but it doesn't exist in my physical life. In my realm of existence, she doesn't exist. I'm single. But mentally, I'm growing old with this person that I expected to be this way. So, although I got all of these boxes that I'm checking on when I'm meeting these amazing, beautiful women in my life, and some of them boxes is not checked off, I'll be like, okay, you're not for me. You are not the one for me because you don't check all of my boxes. But I have to be open-minded to be like, okay, you check 75% of my boxes. That 25% off, maybe I could get to know you more better. Maybe you get to check on them. Maybe not. And then I could make that decision where I could say, you're not the one for me because you don't check them all. Because I expect on these things, yes, an expectation is things that you expect someone to do for you, but how they would do this if they don't know how to do them. So I get that. But if I give you enough time to check those boxes stay empty, that should be my cue to say, you're not the one for me. Not for me to continue to suffer to the point where I have to feel like now you check them in. No. So if you don't fill them up, I gotta let you be.
Welcome, God.
That's up to me, right? But ultimately, let's say I become vulnerable enough and lower my expectations and say, okay, you didn't check these boxes, but I think you're the one that I should grow old with. Even though you don't check my boxes, because maybe I was not being realistic about these boxes that I expect you to fill.
Welcome.
Maybe I was wrong. So I have to consider that and be like, maybe my expectation was too high for you to even feel. But that was my own personal expectation that you have no right or reason to feel. It was just me. But now that I understand that you're in the right track, maybe we could grow old together, even if you didn't fill these boxes that I expect you to fill. And maybe in the future, you fill them up on your own without me even knowing it. And when I look back, I'll be like, damn, you fill all of my boxes, even though that I expected you at the beginning to fill them, and you was falling short to it. I just didn't give you enough time and was patient enough to see the growth within you to fill these boxes. At this point in my life, I just don't have no time to give a brand new person enough time to get to know, because I don't know if tomorrow is, promised for me. So it's no time for me to say, hey, I'm going to give you enough time to fill these boxes. It's either you fill them up right now or you're just not the one. Because I'm not young no more. I just got to be real with myself. It's just me being vulnerable. And it's just not being harsh.
Yeah.
Just being real.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can agree with that. Listen, me myself, being an older woman, I'm 63, I'll be 64 July 10th. I just find myself to be a little different. Like, I'm more old school than new school, whatever the hell new school is.
Welcome.
Listen, I'm very submissive. I'm a submissive woman. I want my man to be the head. I'm not out here like, I don't have a lot to offer by myself. You know what I'm saying? I was a housewife. You know what I'm saying? My husband died. My husband was 32 years older than me. I respected him. I loved him. We did a lot of things together. He taught me a lot. He was like my everything. Like, I still miss him today because I haven't seen no one like him since he passed. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want no one like him, but I want someone close to that. You know what I'm saying? Because he was military. He was a man. He had 2 wives before me. I talked to both of his wives. I didn't, we got along. I didn't have nothing against them because whatever he had with them didn't have nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? What we had was for us. Me being a younger woman in his life, this man used to tell on my clothes. Like, I didn't wear pants until I met him. I used to wear dresses all the time. I didn't wear pants until I met this man. He used to tell on my jeans and everything, like, because I had a small waist, but I had hips, So nothing that I bought, like, would fit. So I was appreciative of, him being who he was and doing what he did for me. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see disrespecting men. There's so much stuff going on today
well, women want to be the head, and how the hell? I'm not everyone. I can't see a woman being the head. I can't see a woman being a fucking president. I forget my language. I just don't see that. I just want to be who I am. I want to love my man as a man that's the head, a man that's going to lead, a man that's going to guide, a man that's going to direct. You know what I'm saying? And then I take up the slack. I take up the slack as to helping him. You know what I'm saying? Helping him be his best person. You know what I'm saying? It's not about me trying to be better than. It's about me being a helpmate to my man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. That's what I want with my next individual that I'm going to be with. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't see that, then I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I stand in all of it. You know what I'm saying? I respect men. I respect my black men. I respect them to be the head. You know what I'm saying? I want them to be the head. Not, demeaning myself, but just being the woman that I am, that I was taught to be. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm grateful for who I am. And I'm a whole woman. I'm grateful for who God made me to be. I'm grateful for the way my parents raised me. You know what I'm saying? Even though they didn't stay together, you got to learn how to decipher different things in life and decipher things that your parents went through. I don't want to go through what my parents went through. I had a good marriage. And I loved my husband, and I miss him still today, for real, for real. And as far as my parents, they did separate. And my mom's husband, I hated him for a long time because I feel like he broke my parents up. But it is what it is, and I hated him, and I learned to forgive him because it wasn't all about that, you know. Mm-hmm. I had to forgive him because of who I am in God. You know what I'm saying? Who I am in Christ. So I'm good in my space. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with nobody right now. Many people have tried to come in my life, and because it wasn't for my life, God showed me, and I just had to let it go. You know what I'm saying? It's not about just being with a man. I want to be with the right one. You know what I'm saying? That right man in my life. If I can't have that right man in my life, then I can still be by myself, and I'm good with that. You heard? It's just like that.
That part.
It's just like that. That part.
I feel it. And I'm not as old as you. I'm only 46. But at my point in my life, I understand, man. There's no such thing as the right woman. It's just the right person that you are willing to suffer and grow old with. But when you actually put yourself in that position where you know that tomorrow's not promised to you, and you want to build beautiful memories with somebody that you want to grow old with, they might not check all your boxes. I just
check all the boxes.
Yeah, I'm getting into this part where I think I'm cheating myself. I'm cheating myself from true happiness because I keep on discarding amazing women. They don't check up all of my boxes just because I think that I'm expecting them to fit them. I think that at some point I have to lower my expectations and be like, listen, if this person fill up 75% of your boxes, maybe later on she'll grow to fill this other boxes. It's not all about what you expect them to be. It's all about how much are you willing to suffer to be with the right person according to your own expectations instead of just finding the right person. Because man, it's hard.
Yeah, I was going to say that because I think that it's more of how much are you willing to compromise?
You shouldn't have to suffer for nothing.
Yeah. How much are you willing to compromise? Because if suffer is the word, then yeah, that ain't meant to be. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, sex ain't supposed to be painful. Love ain't supposed to hurt like that. You know what I mean? You know, people say love hurts, all that type of stuff, but I do really think that you know, our ability to be able to compromise, you know, what are you willing to deal with? And I mean, and that's what happens when you join together and you choose to go ahead and go on that path together. You're literally saying that no, this person isn't exactly what I wanted, but the things that I don't like, I can deal with that. You know what I'm saying? I can work with that. You know what I mean? Now, what it takes after then is you continue to be honest with yourself along the way.
Okay, but
Go ahead.
Let me clear myself when I say suffering, right? When I say suffering, I don't mean that this person is gonna make me suffer. What I mean suffering is like while we together, we're gonna might found some losses. Like you might lose somebody in your family, and I have to suffer that with you. I might find some losses in my family. So when someone will pass away, you're gonna have to suffer that with me. And if you know, it's a different type of suffering. When we're not talking about you making me suffer and I'm making you suffer. We just talking about like my own perception is like if I'm going through some hard time that I know is gonna cause me pain, but it have nothing to do with you. Are you willing to suffer with me? Or are you willing to let me go because you think it's too much for you to handle?
Ooh.
That's
Well, why wouldn't nobody do that? Why wouldn't nobody go through the suffering together?
Hey, y'all,
well, this is the right. I mean, that's a good question because the thing is this: some women, and I'm not saying all, but at my stage of my life, some women decided to be with a man for convenience, not love. Meaning, I could provide, I could keep you safe, and I could do anything you want me to do. But when I'm in deep shit, were you willing to suffer with me? Or you just with me because I could just provide, keep you safe, and give you everything that you do? There's a difference. Some women be like, that's your own thing that you have to do. I don't have nothing to do with that.
The difference between love and light. If you love
and convenience.
Right. If you love me, you're gonna suffer through every damn thing I'm going through. That's love. True.
Yes.
That is true.
That's like time.
You know what I'm saying? If it's not true love, then hell no, they ain't gonna suffer with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because so many people are out for convenience. They're not out for love.
Exactly. That's my whole point right there. And on my stage, I'm able to know who's with me for convenience or for love. And some of these person, they are amazing person, man. I don't take nothing away from them. But I could see them a mile away coming. I could see them saying, "Oh, I'm good in here because this person could provide for me." And yes, I might not know his kids. I might not know his family. So whatever he's going through, I don't really have to go through that. I could act like I could go through it, but I don't have no responsibility about it. I don't need that person. I need a person that if I'm down, you're down with me. And if you suffering, I'm gonna suffer with you. If you're crying, I'm gonna cry with you. But just because you are with me for convenience, because you know my days are limited and you might live a little bit more than me, I don't want to be with you. Because I already met so many girls that will do that. And not only that, I've seen it in personal experience to other people that I consider to be my family, where their girls, the next day after that person passed away, they're already with somebody else. That was with them for convenience. That was not with them for love. So when I see this thing, I take it as an experience. Like, I don't want to be that person because I already see that this person pretended to be a good woman in front of everybody. But as soon as my brother passed away, they went to somebody else. And I was like, man, that couldn't be love. That just means that person was waiting
You're welcome
for this person to go away so they could actually reap for their benefits. So they was there for convenience. There was no true love. And I haven't even heard from them after that. So that means they knew what they was doing. They got with this person just to get their world. And after that, they disappear out of the picture. No more how you doing, no more how's your kids doing, no more anything. And I was like, man, I already knew. I don't want that same fate for me. So I had to make sure that person checked the boxes. And if they don't check the boxes, I have to kick them to the curb. And it's not me being harsh. It's just me being definitely aware and alert. It is some women out here that will pretend very good, but they are not real. And you're only going to know that when the significant other passed away and the family members will get to see them like, wow, that's their true self. I don't need that.
Yeah, go ahead, Unique. Yeah, that's
so I was trying to say, we was talking about like how people, when they are in that trans of somebody passing in their life, right, and then they have to be there together to support them. I think that's where there's another step in life or relationships people don't understand. Once again, it goes back to what Queen was saying, like, you don't ask these questions. You don't go into asking, are you really emotionally intelligent? If I was to go through this, how would you respond? Even all the way down, if I go and let's say my car get flat, and because I got a flat, you feel me, I went to the wrong person to get it fixed, and you want to get mad because I spend more money than what I'm supposed to. Like, I'm supposed to know that. Like, it really gets down to acceptance. Worse when I don't have myself to give it to me. Like, are you gonna be able to live it? I've seen a perfect couple. Literally, this is the reason why I was saying this. I've seen a perfect couple. I mean, they fed each other's needs, but he was not emotionally intelligent. When it came to her losing her mom, he didn't know to comfort her. He didn't know to go over there and hug her. You feel me? She was telling him, I need you right now, like, babe. Like, he was like, I don't know what you want me to do. And she's like, just do the simple shit. Some men don't know that part. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, they would leave the situation because you're not mentally, emotionally, intelligently with me to be through this.